put their result of their study. This is our panel. I put the sentences and the pictures.
Different functional areas of the brain. First is a visual study. We were superimposing the images, the epiplanar images, as VMAPs on a baseline epiplanar image. At 1.5 decimal, Z value is no different size as a understandable. Now finally, this is the word generation task which I described earlier when I showed this video. This is a reference scan, high resolution representative processing. We were able to get beautiful high resolution digital processing. And as the subject starts the word generation, we see in multiple areas, this is literally representative in this case. Full functioning
AIDS gene therapy, viral infections, and what is not listed here is the neurological diseases. You might have heard from Rusty Gage before on the Alzheimer's as well as in the Parkinson, where one can actually introduce the tyrosine hydroxylase gene so as to make the product directly, which is efficient. So really the gene therapy approaches will be very widely distributed as time goes on. Although there will be sessions today on ethics of gene therapy, but I want to just take one thing very clear, very early on, that I'm going to discuss strictly somatic cell gene therapy. I'm not going to discuss germline gene therapy, not because of ethical issues, which will be covered later on, but more because it is practically impossible at the moment, purely on scientific grounds. We don't really know how to introduce a gene in a selective manner in the chromosome. So you can cure somebody of deficiency of diabetes by putting an insulin gene, but the gene could just as well go in thalassemia and cause a different kind of disease. So since we cannot control where the gene can be inserted in the germline, I think the approach of germline is relatively unthinkable at the moment. What I'm going to consider today is strictly the somatic cell gene therapy. That is to say, gene therapy for a somatic tissue for the benefit of the individual who is missing that particular gene or has acquired a certain genetic defect as it goes along. In other words, the introduction of the gene will be strictly to a somatic tissue where the gene cannot be in the somatic tissue is by using biological vectors.
View from the convention center. There is a harbor and many ships and airplanes were on it.